In an uncles to the girls, Abba and Sheridan, debunked reports by the FCT police and the Nigerian Army sources that the girls and other victims were rescued through their joint effort. Abbas Al-Qadira, who picked up the girls from the forest, said, "We paid a ransom for the release of our girls. A ransom was paid and the police were not involved. The children called me and I went to pick them up. On my way, I saw soldiers at the junction, and the bush is a very thick bush along the Gurara Dam. So I had to call the attention of the soldiers to follow me to the spot where we could locate our children. The bandits left them there to call us to come and pick them up, but we paid a ransom and no police was involved. The children were not rescued by anyone. Soldiers only assisted me in locating where they were, and they provided a cover for us." In corroborating the account, another uncle, Sheriff Dean, also noted, "My elder brother was the one who went to pick up the girls on Saturday, days after we paid the ransom, but the soldiers escorted them back home." Well, the FCT police command had earlier claimed that the Al-Qadiri girls or sisters and other abducted victims were rescued from the bandits' den in Kajuru Forest in Kaduna State by a joint team of policemen and soldiers of the Nigerian Army on Saturday night. The police on Sunday confirmed that all the victims, including the 5 sisters whose abduction had raised nationwide concerns, were freed at about 11 p.m. on Saturday and had since been reunited with their families. Dangote Refinery's planned supply of 150,000 Ipman stations. Dangote Petroleum Refinery is to supply fuel to about 150,000 retail outlets operated by the Independent Petroleum Marketers Association of Nigeria, IPMAN, following a meeting between the management of the refinery and executives of IPMAN. Last week, the Punch exclusively reported that IPMAN had scheduled a meeting with the management of Dangote Refinery as regards the supply of products to independent marketers. When contacted on Friday evening to confirm if the meeting held, the president of IPMAN, Abubakar Megandi, stated that the association had finally met with the management of the refinery, adding that the latter agreed to supply products to over 30,000 members of IPMAN. It came as it was further gathered that the regulator of the downstream oil sector was currently examining the refined products from the refinery before the facility will be given approval to dispense fuel to the market. The Punch had also reported on Monday that the 7 major oil marketers in Nigeria had registered with the refinery for the lifting and distribution of refined petroleum products produced by the $20 billion plant. Commenting on the outcome of the meeting between IPMAN and Dangote Refinery during a conversation with correspondent of the Punch on Friday, the association's president said the management of the plant would be supplying products to 150,000 stations of IPMAN nationwide. Well, the sad thing about it is they did not agree on price. They couldn't agree on price. Well, like some people say, there will be stability, but would it affect price? Well, we have to wait and see. Reports anyone seen with ammunition. Force PRO urges Nigerians. The police force public relations officer Olumuyiwa Adejobi is urging Nigerians to report anyone seen with live ammunition to curb arms proliferation in Nigeria. This was contained in a statement shared on Sunday on the official handle of Adejobi on X. He puts it this way: these are live ammunitions called Ekpa and granates in the street. If you see them with any friend or civilian, please expose him or her. We need to collectively curb the proliferation of arms and ammunition in Nigeria. And then court delivers judgment on Rivers Assembly Fubara suit today. The Federal High Court, Abuja, will today deliver judgment in the suit by the Speaker, Rivers State House of Assembly, Martin Amewule, against Governor Siminalayi Fubara, the National Assembly, and others. It was disclosed in a notice sent to parties involved in the matter on Sunday. Well, in the matter marked -- the Rivers State House of Assembly and Amewule are the 2 plaintiffs. The National Assembly, Senate President, Deputy Senate President, Senate Majority Leader, Senate Minority Leader are the 1st to the 5th defendants, respectively. So those are the stories for today. Let me first introduce members of the panel. Let's begin with Mr. Emmanuel Indukwe, our in-house analyst. Good morning to you, sir. Welcome.
Good morning, Kelly. Good morning, Nigeria.
How are you feeling today?
Well, feeling better. It's a gradual process, but it's certainly on its way to give me a better situation.
Okay. Asim Adams Esquire, legal practitioner, civil rights crusader. Morning to you, Barrister. Welcome.
Good morning to you, Kelly. Nigerians, good morning. Co-panelists, good morning.
Elite is back in the studio after all the grooving for like 3 weeks. Wow. I went to Malta, he went to the Seychelles, he went to the stop by in Florida. Wow. Comrade Ruben Izu Jr., our public affairs analyst, chairman NDNAF, River State chapter, and a voice for Ngeni Kingdom. I heard he also branches his place in, that should be Ahoda. Yeah. He branched there, and then he went.
No, it's not Ahoda.
Where is it? It's not Ahoda. Okaki. Okaki not in Ahoda.
It's in Ghana, not Ahoda.
Yeah, it's in Ghana, yes.
In Ghana.
Because of Ahoda West and Ahoda East, people don't understand.
Yeah.
The Ahoda East is made up of the Ekwe-speaking ethnic nationalities. But the Ahoda West is a mix-up of the Ngenes and the Ahoda East language-speaking ethnic nationalities.
So you're from Ahoda now?
I'm not from Ahoda. Ahoda is Ahoda East. I'm from Ahoda West.
Which is a local West now.
That's Ahoda West.
Yeah. That's Ahoda now.
Yes. No, it's not Ahoda.
But you say Ahoda West now.
They have Ahoda West and Ahoda East. So when you say Ahoda, you are now generalizing the two local governments.
Exactly. Oh, okay. My apologies. So you're from Ahoda West?
I'm from Ahoda West. And then Ghana to be precisely in the Ahoda West.
Okay. So you stopped there now for a few days. And then you went around the globe.
Kelly, this is
I like your way, I like your way. I admire your way.
I know Chief Ima planned this with you. Because
no, don't drag me to this one. This one I know. I was told.
What is the side I have?
We have an in-house proceeding. You violated the in-house proceeding just to set me up.
No, people call me the speaker now. For once, let me use my speakerly privilege.
Okay.
You've seen it.
He's not in the pitch, so he can use his power.
I know that he has majority out of what we have here, so he will not be impeached.
Welcome, Comrade.
Thank you.
Good to see you.
It's too good and lovely to be here. I've been missing you guys. I follow up online and radio even when I'm out, and I was telling him, I said, I think this year my listeners have missed me, and I've also missed my colleagues over here.
Okay.
It's good to be back again.
Welcome.
I love your hairstyle.
Oh, thank you. I like it too. So we have an American citizen, so let's acknowledge him in the studio. Fine face, Dumnamene Fine Face, environmental justice activist, pushing up come for him. No, it's the American citizen, I'm blocking with Akpo and Ekpa. Respect yourself, so.
American born Nigerian.
Respect yourself. He's a hardworking man, doing a lot of humanitarian services. But he's American citizen, at least he told us that one. Fine Face, Dumnamene Fine Face, environmental justice activist, executive director, Youth and Environmental Advocacy Center, YIC Nigeria. Morning, sir. Welcome.
Good morning, Kelly. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the refreshing breakfast morning show on radio.
It's good to have you here.
Thank you. Happy New Week.
So I want us to begin with, I heard there's another spill in River State.
Yeah, sure.
I saw the statement from you.
Yeah, sure. The breaking news we have today in relation to spill in the Niger Delta is a day that passes by without an OSP, no longer the OSP itself. And the few we are able to report are the few we know. There are lots of spills that happen without us knowing, because you know that when we talk about the Trans-Niger Delta pipeline, it crisscrosses even bushes, forests, and water bodies. So spills that occur in those areas, when they are able to detect it, they cover it up and nobody knows. It's just a few that occur within residential areas that people see and talk about. Just a few days ago, we had a spill in Kedere community in Gokana local government area, and while we are yet discussing that one, a new one occurred at Obole Bubu, Ogale, close to Bubu there, Element local government area, yeah. And it's very massive. And this particular one is just like, when you are fixing your tap in your house, your tap water system had issue, you call a plumber to fix it, and after fixing it, you now try to pump water, and you see that some places are still leaking. Okay. That's the kind of thing that happened. Okay. They were on the site working in December. You can see the hip-ups and everything. Then after that, they believe they have done their work, and then they release crude through the pipeline on the over the weekend and on the 19th, and what we saw was massive, spill. The video we have and everything.
Is it the same pipeline that we have is supplying crude to the refinery for testing?
Well, this is a TNP. This is another data pipeline. It may not be actually the same, but this is the one that takes crude to the export terminal.
Okay, to the export terminal.
Yeah.
But so far, NOSDRA, any response yet? Because from everything I've been hearing, nothing so far.
Yeah, NOSDRA, they have been funny of recent, but then for the first time, this time around, by Saturday, after we released the statement and alerted everywhere, other media organizations that contacted them to hear their part said they were going to go for, JIV, the Joint Investigation Visit on Sunday, being yesterday. So I don't know whether that happened, but before the studio time runs out, we'll confirm that.
Let me ask members of the panel, anyone interested in this story, Barrister Adams, the amount of spills that we have in the Niger Delta, we don't seem to be moving quick enough in containing it so that we don't have recurrences as we have them now. Is that good for us?
No, not at all. It's not good, Kelly. If you look at in the whole coastal areas where you have the oil producing areas all over the world, the Niger Delta of Nigeria is the most polluted. It's on record. And not just the most polluted, but it's the most impoverished. There is they live the lives of savages, crime and poverty. So when you see this place, when I heard this, when this news broke, I said, again, this has happened. Does it mean that we don't take precautionary measures, to stem this? With technology, you can, stem this spillage or whatever as the case may be. Why must we always be reactionary as the case may be? Now, if you look at, Shell is pulling out, part of his business investment and divesting to a Nigerian local. A team has come up to, acquire that particular, one part of his properties.
In the onshore assets.
Yes. And a group came out the last time and said, look, before Shell is allowed to complete their sale or maybe sell that part of their asset, that they should be asked to clean up further Ogoni land. You understand? Because of the pollution they did. Why has this thing been happening? It's because of the fact that the government of the day is not proactive and is not doing anything, giving punitive measures to those who cause these things. I hope that it will not go to that monumental proportion that we normally have in Ogoni land like before. I pray so. This will escalate to that particular point. Those who are in the perimeter field should know better than I do here.
All right, comrade.
Well, the truth about it is, I know that the situation or the system over here has created so much loopholes between the host communities and the multinationals, hereby creating some form of miscommunication between them. And that has not been very, very okay. Last week, I think so, probably as at Wednesday, Thursday, I got informed that the multinational is intending to sell off some of their assets. I think one of the two sister radio stations where I spoke, and I was insisting, when you buy assets from some of these multinationals, as the case may be here in Nigeria, there are liabilities and there are assets you actually will accrue to yourself. Now, you don't go about the assets to be your benefit. Definitely, you must walk into the host communities to try and check out the level of liabilities you have inherited. Of course, you must assess them, because if the company that is living currently has had one or two issues with the communities before leaving or about to leave now, definitely, I was telling the radio station, as a man who wants to get married to a woman who was once in the marriage and definitely had 1 or 2, 3, 4, 5 children, definitely you will inherit asset. Might be the quality in the woman, beauty or whatever you may see, but definitely she will stand to tell you that you are not coming just for the asset. You must be ready to take care of our liabilities. And in most cases, they will tell you, if you are not a friend to my children, then I don't think the marriage will work. So definitely the host communities who have housed these multinationals will be telling those companies that are buying these assets from the multinationals, if you are not ready to take care of their liabilities, I don't think will provide an enable environment for you guys to operate. And I am of the opinion too that they must first of all look at the liabilities before looking at the asset they've actually secured from the multinationals, or else what they might be having as a rudeness. I can trust most of these host communities as they are coming, they will not be giving a receptive welcome, a rousing welcome whatsoever, because they have left with a very deep wound. I listened to Fine Face Dumnamene within the week that just passed. He was lamenting on most of the communities that have this oil spillage, and he was insisting that, like the oil, the wells belonging or pipelines belonging to Shell, that in the process he noticed there were cleanup that was done, but it seems like along the line they felt they are done. Maybe one of their equipment must have stepped on one of the pipelines, hence the spill, and they have left to their mind that they have done a good job, not knowing that there is something behind. You know, in research they said if you carry out any research and it leads to a solution and becomes a beginning to another problem, that research is not complete. So they should go clean up their mess.
Mr. Ndukwe.
Yeah, Kelly, you remember the day the thing started when we started hearing everywhere about the Shell's preparations for
offshore.
Yes. I said, where is Shell thinking it will go? It will not go to anywhere. My reason, not that I don't know that they are in partnership with federal government. And in this our country, only what government decides happen. The federal government decides that a Shell come and they do everything, go wherever, divest. Nothing anybody can do. But I tell you, the communities will do something. The communities, they have degraded. You remember I mentioned particularly that where Shell came from, whether it's a single company or whatever, I don't want to listen to that. Oil is also drilled there. And the way they have indeed degraded the Niger Delta is not the way they are doing or treating their area. So Shell should also use his tongue and count his teeth and know that I have degraded this place. Let me clean up my mess. Simple. There's no other thing. After all, there is nothing special about Shell. We could also invite others if we want from outside, or the people that are taking over Nigerians who are taking over could also do a better job. But the issue is, if Shell is going without all these things, then federal government should get ready for maybe agitation every second from these communities. Kelly, if you see all these communities, riverine communities, you will shudder at oil. But in Abuja, in Lagos, wherever, you see maybe paradisaic look and think that that's the oil situation and environment in Nigeria. But come to the Niger Delta and see the mess that Shell has caused, because it's pretending over every other oil companies.
So we have another issue. I heard there was an explosion last week when
in Obaigoma local government.
And I'm surprised for something of that magnitude, the way it's been described, to have happened on Wednesday, and we're only hearing of it by... I heard of it yesterday.
It came a day later. In fact, my team on ground, we are apologizing that they were trying to... the people there, they are not really... open to some of this, and they try to listen to what our leader will say. If we say that, when they go there, say you didn't share this. He said that we were trying to wait for our leader to say take permission. You don't do that. This is what some people must surely get to know. So when it happened, you share the information. So we call the attention of the authorities to it, and they can address the matter. What happened there is even more massive than other spill we are talking about. This like explosion, in the gas facility. It's very, very massive. What happened in
I heard farmlands.
Yeah, a lot of things are destroyed. So I believe that the people I believe they are hearing our voice. They should make access to the site so that media guys, journalists, NGOs can visit and see the extent of damage and support them in advocacy to ensuring that things are done to address what has happened there, because injury to one is injury to all. And whatever has damaged the farmlands and aquatic lives and means of livelihoods of the people, there is going to affect food security in Rivers State and beyond, because if you are unable to uproot from your own farm and eat, it means you have to go to the market and buy, and for you to go there and buy, you have increased the number of people buying from the market, and it's affecting everybody in the entire value chain. So this is something that affects everybody, and we must take steps to ensuring that this issue is addressed within the shortest possible time.
Okay, so let's go to Abuja. The FCT minister is not the senator for the FCT, Kingibe, Gibe is saying that she raised the alarm about this insecurity early in the day, but they told her that she was exaggerating it. It wasn't as bad as she was making it seem. In fact, according to her, the claims were that the accounts were coming from social media. She said, no, this is not social media. This is my constituents giving me real updates on this Abuja issue. And then, I think between yesterday, Saturday, Sunday, started getting reports of rescue, release. And every time I get those reports, I'm like, okay, was it a rescue or a release? Now, this back and forth. In fact, the story from the Punch would, to a large extent, corroborate with the Zagazola had reported. I read the account of Zagazola separately after I read the police report, and I read that of the army as captured by Zagazola. When I read it, I said, well, the army only came and met a group of people. Mm-hmm. They didn't say that the army rescued them. I mean, I was wondering, okay, was it like there was heavy shootout, and as a result of that, the abductors decided to drop their captives and they took off? It didn't quite add up. But hearing from the uncle of the family that said, at this point, we paid ransom, we got there, and in getting to the place where they were kept, they saw army around, so they asked the army to escort them. So the army escorted them. That gives a lot of clarity to the Zagazola reports that indeed the army got to a location and saw some persons there. So according to the uncle, the bandits dropped them there and left.
Exactly.
They dropped them there and left. So why do we have the police is releasing a statement? Oh, our special combat squad recently commissioned by the police did the rescue. Army did this. Why?
They didn't have superior firepower. And they always
this time they didn't describe it with the sophistication. Oh, when our men arrived, when we stormed the location, we took our position, and then they were shooting at us. Our gallant men responded with the bravery and force, and we overpowered them, and we rescued them.
Superior firepower. I like that.
They didn't give us
process too. We are gone down.
They didn't give us all of those jargons. But now the family says, well, should we be happy that they are out? Whether they paid, well, the family said we paid ransom, 100 million. I'm even happy that they didn't collect the 100 million and they kept 3. Mm-hmm. I said, there are 5, Abi, take 3. We'll keep 2. Go and bring another 50 million. That's another thing for me. But how do we look at this? People have died. We've been shouting. We seem to have a knee-jerk reaction. When this quiets down now, we go back to normal, like we don't have a crisis on our hands. Comrade Izu.
I think it is high time we've been using this word thinking outside the box. The last time last week you guys were discussing this on the newspaper review, I had a contribution and I insisted, and I'm still on the same direction. Security is an everyday thing. It's not, I don't know. Recently, before the incident of the kidnap, and some persons who lost their life from what information we got on the Port Harcourt Obidikwere Airport Road. For me, I use that route regularly from the airport. I've been asking myself, this is a key point, and there has been no known fortified checkpoint. This is an airport route to Rivers State, into Port Harcourt, where dignitaries are coming. Definitely those who have the wrong mindset, on a good day, they know for them is good business.
Well, I was attacked there, I mentioned it.
Okay.
Right there.
I was most of the times when I go in as a result of delayed flight or co, you pass there in the night. Whenever we are to leave, I've been having this fear in me, because I am very much aware that those whose mind feel like this is what we should take into for to put food on our table. They are not just going to the general market to kidnap the market woman. It is on a case where the lion has looked for a spray and he doesn't see, then he looks for grass to eat, which is quite, most times, very difficult to see. So I am very much aware that these kidnappers will one day face their beam light or search their beam light on the airport road, and there would be victims. When I got that information that
and during the festive period, that over 10 cars ran into them, and as a result of some person trying to escape, some were shot, some were picked. The following day, I actually used that very road, and I saw the gallant security men that has mounted there. And what came into my mind
after the incident of the previous day?
That's what came into my mind, and I was just like, this is the words of Ben Murray Bruce. What we spend in preventing an occurrence is quite different from what we spend in our reactive measures to prevent another further occurrence. Hence, my position in we are never proactive, and in our reactive measures we have loopholes. We don't do it holistically, because when you have failed to, handle something before it happens, and if it takes you unaware, there is a reactive measures you will take, and it will become a proactive measure to order for unforeseen occurrences. But here the reverse is the case. Now I was asking the security man that was with me, I said, officer, how are you people being trained? I am very much aware that you are about 5,000 or so policemen across the federation, with the Nigerian population of approximately 2 million plus. If we look this in average, you alone, you are protecting as many as 10 police, as in you are attached to 10 civilians. So these 10 civilians are in different locations at every time. How do you ensure this security? If now in the advanced countries, between Obirikwere to the C4I junction, there is no route except the bush. There is no route except the one that takes you into Alo.
That's the one to your right.
Yes, to your right. Then between that Alo junction to the road that takes you to once there is a road on your left before you get to OPM.
Okay.
These are the major routes that takes you off the major airport road. What stops the security agencies now from the airport roundabout? There should be a checkpoint there that could ordinarily communicate with the supposed C4I in case there is any crime that beats them.
You can quickly intercept.
You understand? This is done in. Say, let me tell you, it's not a rocket science. It's just that sometimes I ask them, when they kill somebody here, you see a roadblock that they will mount there. I ask myself, will the people still come back there? I don't know. So it would be if they hear another kidnap along Rumokrishi, they will disband this one and go to Rumokrishi. These people will come back here. Sometimes when I see what they do, like this case in the Abuja, I just with government agencies, top government functionaries saying they will no longer sleep. Is it that before now you allow them sleep? When I hear this statement, even from the president, it will no longer be business as usual. So you allow them to have their fun-filled day until somebody's life has been used to pay the price. Then you come out. That's why I keep telling Nigerians, big security is our business. Never put the security of your life in the hands of the people whose responsibility is to protect you. I am telling you, it's 1-2 cases that they may have upper day, and it makes it look as if they are working.
All right. Vice Adams. But the issue of the Kadira girls release rescue, well, the family said we paid ransom.
Of course.
They paid ransom. The army only escorted them to where they dropped the girls off. You look at that. On one hand, I feel a bit of relief for the family.
Yes.
I feel that relief, but then you asked about fortifying. What are we doing to see that we don't have a recurrence of this kind of thing?
We are not doing anything. Unfortunately, when Buhari was in power, the DSS circulated or made circulars that said that they had information that's at the height of when the bandits and terrorists were terrorizing Kaduna and its environment, and that Kaduna Abuja highway. They now said they had a premonition. That means the word that the bandits will come and occupy Abuja. That is the FCT. That was some years ago. Now, did they act on that information to throw the security, cobweb around Abuja? They did not do that. They left the formation at the media space and went to sleep. Now, families are being abducted and kidnapped on a daily basis. You see, we have lost our humanity, both government or those in power. The essence of humanity and life and living. You know, we don't value lives in this country. Because even those of us who walk the streets, because we don't value lives, the moment you go to power, you get power, become governor, whatever, you will not value life when you get there. You see, when you kidnap 8 or 6 people from a particular family, do you know the anguish and trauma that particular family, you know, will be going through at that time? The place of another set again being taken. I am sure that in civilized climate, because I will keep making it, even if people are angry that I compare Nigeria to other countries of the world. A lot of things, the president of America, the prime minister of UK, even Ghana, the president of Ghana, cannot have 10 citizens of his being kidnapped and abducted between the president of his own country and the president of his own capital where he sits and will be comfortable. You see, there will be so much running around and people trying to track down and get those people released from whosoever's captive they are. But in Nigeria here, you see people are taking about 40 kilometers radius from the state house. That is where the seat of power is in Nigeria. And they cannot even go and find these people. And you want me now to not believe the statement? And can any military force, can any security agency that knows its worth come out and be boastful on social media to say we rescued those the people, whereas you have no pictorial evidences? I have seen situations where you see troops go to rescue people we have done, like in Mexico. They went to the tunnel when they brought, in fact, the process of going there, it was being filmed, it was just like a movie that we were watching. The troops moved into that particular tunnel, they brought those for out and took out the bandits who took them captive. And it was on television. So how can you rescue? Do you do audio rescuing now in Nigeria? You just come out and talk to us, we have rescued them. Is that a statement? How do I believe you? I will never believe the Nigerian police force or the Nigerian army or any security agency. I will rather believe the family, because the families, I know if one of you was or has a friend or a family member that was or has been kidnapped. I know that I had a friend who was kidnapped. I knew what we went through in those days while he was in captivity. We were ready to do anything, to pay any amount of money, until we got somebody who was to intervene on our behalf. At the end of the day, when the man was not, when the ransom was not paid, he came back, police and they are the ones that rescued him. How do you rescue this thing? Finally, Kelly, I also had an experience in Lagos. My car was taken over from me by armed robbers. And I was put in the boot of that car for close to 3 hours. It was only God that rescued me. Now, at the end of the day, when I was able to climb back of the boot of my car, I didn't know what to do. A friend of mine said, please, Oga, go and report to the nearest police station, because this particular vehicle, they saw it, when they were using that car to rob people. I went to the police station in First August at that time, and I made a report. You know what happened? The damn police people there said that I have to pay, I think, 3,000 at that time to them. There is a recovered vehicle. They now went to the church to go and drive the car to their station. In their crime diary, they now said that they recovered this whatever vehicle from robbers. This is a car that it was not recovered. And I'm giving you personal experiences I've had. This was some years back. I thought the narrative would have changed. What the security agencies do is that when you submit yourself, tell them there's robbery here, they say they have recovered whatever as against maybe they never shot or fired a single bullet into the air. So I don't know why are they always intimidating us, the civilians, but they cannot go into the forest. The government of the day should employ or employ technology to fight crime. All right. They done crime fighting has gone.
Mr. Ndukwe.
Kelly, you know that I think Ireti Kengibe, the senator of the FCT should not cry so much now. Her own, if she heard that she's exaggerating the situation, the insecurity situation in Abuja, she shouldn't cry what I may call blue mother, no? Because Lai Mohammed also was saying that when bandits mounted security points and then we're collecting money from Niger State, he said they don't glorify them. It doesn't mean anything. It's just like area boys in Lagos collected. What kind of statement from a minister of the Federal Republic? He said that. And he also said that journalists were glamorizing terrorism and all that by reporting what they saw. And so it's the same thing. Maybe, like King Ibe is saying, all the rescue perhaps release on Saturday and all that were glamorized release and all that. But see, for Nabena, is it Kadiri people and all the people that got back their maybe children and all that were kidnapped. I tell you, Kelly, whether it was the army, it was the police, it was the wind that brought the children back, the first thing is to get back those children that were kidnapped. Simple. But having listened to the accounts you read here, I pitch my tent. I may be wrong because remember I'm still a human. I pitch my tent with whatever you call
Zagazola.
Yes. You know the reason? He said the army gave pictorial evidence. You read it there?
But no shot was fired.
Well, you see, let me tell you. And also I want to say, apart from the one Adams narrated, on this particular one, the police may also have been contacted. Say, now do this rescue for us and all that and all that. And they went there, perhaps the army beat them to it. And so if coming out to say, would they rescue the children, I don't know why they will make it emphatic like that. But it's not every rescue that will take firing shots. It could be that these bandits had left these children there, perhaps went to elsewhere, and the army zoomed in without anybody giving resistance and took the children away. So they rescued them.
That's rescue.
Yes, of course it is. It's a rescue. What else?
Because
rescue. The children were barricaded and they were inaccessible. And the army let us in that day and brought them out, assuming it happened that way. Then they rescued them. It mustn't be that you must kill or fire shots here and there. Okay. The fact now is that, like I said, as for Emmanuel Ndukwe, I'm not interested on who rescued, but that the children are rescued is the crux of the whole job. Let them be rescued, but I don't know how they'll do it now, because what happened yesterday could also happen tomorrow. Because the government seems not to be interested in these things. How can some groups of renegades come out and hold Nigeria captive and government will not do anything? When there's any political event, you will see money lavished everywhere and they will enjoy themselves. But anything that government should do for its people, none will be done. It's unfortunate.
Fine face.
Yes. When the US, UK, and other countries will come out and give travel advice, security advice, and Nigeria will shout. They will be the one first to shout first. That you are giving bad reports and image to our country. It is not the case. When it started in Abuja, alarm was raised by the senator. As a senator, you are closer to everybody within your constituency than a minister that is appointed from outside. So the minister of the FCT saying that she was overblowing the matter, that it wasn't true, wasn't really very correct, because he needs to work very closely with the senator. Remember why I was governor of...
No, she didn't say it was Wike that said so. She said it was security agencies that told her that...
That is about... We heard the FCT minister saying that while he granted press conference after holding meeting with security chiefs in Abuja.
Okay.
That it is not as they are putting it. And you recall that while he was governor in Rivers State, he prided himself as not the governors that sleep in Abuja or run to Abuja anyhow. So he wasn't, for 8 years, he wasn't in touch with what was happening in the nation's capital. Now he's the minister of the same capital. So he needs to work with the people on ground. Intelligence. This is the time to have the security operatives directed, in case they do not know, to work with the various market unions, youth groups, every group at all that is recognized by the constitution, maybe through local government registration. Work with them. Intelligence. Create toll-free lines. Be able to get information. The Abuja CCTV camera, which the FCT minister talked about, and how it was fraudulent, how it didn't work and things like that, this is the time to shape it. I recall his earlier step when he got to the FCT, when he tried to scatter some slugs and areas, shanties, to clear some of these people from there. Those were a good arrangement. So every information needs to be taken seriously at this time. A senator of the Federal Republic from the FCT is in touch, and they should listen to her, and the security should work with her and other people within her constituency to try to drive this, because we are talking about a nation's capital here. That is the heart of Nigeria. I recall, and I believe it was on this station I mentioned it, how a professor from University of London who wanted to see me didn't fly into Port Harcourt. Rivers State is on red alert. That was in 2022. The Rivers State is red. That there is advice for her from the British government not to enter Rivers State. And when that happened, what happened? She flew straight into Nigeria and flew into Sheraton Hotel in Abuja, now Intercontinental Hotel. And then they flew me from Port Harcourt to come and have meeting with her, and I returned. And I was telling her it's not as bad as you think.
But you got there now. You arrived there now.
Yeah.
So it couldn't have been as bad as.
Exactly.
So was painted.
I'm an indigene, and I'm within the country. In fact, what their embassy puts out to them is what they believe in. And the moment they have given you the security advice, you go against them, anything happens to you, you're on your own. You can't jump what they tell you to do. So we have a lot of these issues that are on ground with us, and we need to. In fact, when you get to some parts of America, they will tell you that they don't believe that a place like Nigeria exists. Do people live there? Are you following? So an average foreigner, based on information they get, those who are even care to know, don't believe anywhere exists outside where they are. But the point here is that the nation's capital must be safe. We must do everything we can to save the nation's capital. Now, this kidnapping incident and the quarrel between the police, who is going to take credit? The great thing is that these children are back. Those who were kidnapped, they are back home. And haven't gotten them back home. What they should now begin to do is how to make sure this doesn't happen again. Analyze the entire scenarios that are played out.
Do you even see this happening?
Of course.
Do you see this happening?
That is the issue. And they don't listen. Look, when I had a course at American University in Washington, D.C., they told you that the American system runs through NGOs. They don't joke with NGO in the US. 501c, that's the registration code of NGO. They don't joke with NGOs. NGO is what they tell you, that the American government work closely with NGOs because they are closer to the people, and they will get a more clean, unbiased, reliable information and report from them than they even get from the security operative, because they are closer to the people. That is why you have, in the US, like we have in Nigeria, two dominant parties, APC, PDP. In the US, you have several other parties that are winning different elections. Even at the local government, you can have a particular party that has been there for many years, winning election. So they allow things to decentralize. They don't centralize things in such a way that it is difficult to take information from anybody. I made bold to say on radio here that I wrote to the Rivers State Police Command that these are security issues that are being reported to me at Advocacy Center that I want you to tackle. They turned it down. They didn't answer me till today.
Is it the new commissioner?
No, the old one, the one that left. Instead, the one they were serious about inviting me to come and explain is because I want to hold a small program at Kaduna Junction to play hunger strike on climate change. That was the one that invited me to come and explain and give police security money for fuel and all the rest before they can come. So they don't take information we share with them seriously. If that was why I castigated them last week when they kidnapped and shot people along the airport road. When it happened to me on November 9 on that airport road, I gave police 3 videos of the incident. I produced 3 videos of the incident to the police with a letter and everything. I also went to the police station by the Obirikwere Airport Road and reported officially, which of course, like Barrister said, I also paid to report. Then I advise that I know there is an army checkpoint as you come out of the airport by your right hand side towards Omagua. There is an army checkpoint. There should be another critical checkpoint by that defunct Port Harcourt Airport Hotel after Simaka Stadium. There should be one there because that is the bush that the boys are using to operate. All the advice I gave them, every video, all the letter and everything I said, they looked down on it and eventually happened. And it happened few days after the governor stood on that same ground and said River State is safe. While he was launching the 2,000 or thereabout 20,000 housing unit, that place is safe. And the boys came out with to tell you that place is not safe. So there's a lot of points and counterpoints. So they should take advice we give them very seriously so that we can see what we can do in our own quota to contribute to security of lives and property in this state.
Quickly.
You see, Abuja, that this thing is happening. There are so many constitutional problems I have discovered that is hindering a lot of things in that Abuja. The status of Abuja, number one. If you give Abuja the treatment of a state, why does the FCT not have a House of Assembly to make laws for the governor and let the governor or the minister, do whatever he wants to do like a governor? Then I look at it again and I said that is it not possible for Nigeria, the Nigerian House of Assembly, National Assembly, to tinker with Section 214 that talks about police and policing? Make way. At least if you say it is not state police, let there be vigilantes, that each state can create, or like Amotekun, etc. as the case may be. The Amotekun issue, the reason why they are not been fledgling is because of the fact that National Assembly said Section 214 has to be tinkered before they can begin to, have such around. That is why most states abandon it. But out of stubbornness, that was how, the Yoruba and the southwestern state had to, imbibe it. Why can't they tinker? Because the issue now is beyond the police that we have. It's beyond the security agencies. So let them look for a way to expand Section 214 so that it can accommodate. If you don't want to use the word state police, let them have regional policing system.
All right.
How can you come from Kaduna? Okay, look at that. The people that we rescue said they were taken from Abuja to a forest in Kaduna.
That's the police account.
That is the police account. I'm just from the police account. That they took them to a forest in Kaduna. You understand? So what is Kaduna doing? Putin is pressing to secure his neighborhood or whatever and his state territory.
All right.
Then from there we can move on. I don't know. So these are things we should look at.
Okay.
So that we don't have this kind of problems anymore.
Let's go to the first of our two conversations for opinion poll. Just to remind you, at 10, just after the news update, we'll have a conversation with Professor Patu Tome this morning. That will be 5 minutes past the hour of 10 on this news about a major party. We'll have that conversation this morning. But for the first one, Wole Soyinka, barbarians have taken over social media after 2023 election. Nobel laureate Professor Wole Soyinka is bemoaning the sorry state the social media has fallen into in Nigeria, saying it has been dragged down to the lowest common denominator and taken over by people he described as barbarians. In the clip, when he responded at the weekend, he referred to people as buffoons. And then when I got to that part, I just like, Soyinka, no vex, I can't play it. I expunged it. So there'll be peace. Soyinka says that in other climes, social media is still valid as a means of interaction because of the intellectual contents and reasoned engagement being deployed by users. But noted that here in Nigeria, the reverse is the case, as those who dragged it down have swapped the intellectual quotient aspect of it. I want to take just quote. Well, he was speaking at the 48th President's Party and his investiture as an honorary member of Abeokuta Club, Abeoku, in Ogun State, noting that the situation has degenerated to a level where even a mere disagreement in an election could lead to one being labeled on social media as having a phobia about others. Let me read quotes here. Referring to the last general election, especially the presidential election aspect of it, Soyinka said he was both astonished and flabbergasted that people were so power-besotted that they could not even accept the possibility that they did not win the election, and rather than table their facts, for thorough scrutiny, they resorted to demonization of others. In a situation where disagreement in an election can lead one to be labeled something, phobia, or whatever, it is certainly amazing that in a community of intellect, genuine and authentic value, and then we have a situation of something called the social media. The social media is awash with accusations of one being a kind of ethnophobic. So strange to me, but that is what we have been reduced to. And when that kind of accusation comes, there is no need or value in trying to say you are not. You just say thank you very much. The complement of ethnophobia, it's ethnophilia. So if you are ethnophobia in one direction, and then pull back and become ethnophilia in the other direction, and leave those who claim that they are being phobicized to wallow in their own campaign of hatred, of dehumanization of others simply because of their glaring, routine, mundane activities, as holding a political opinion, as making political observation and warning others not to plunge the society into a dark age from which will barely emerge at a very crucial dictatorship, the most cruel this nation has ever had. And so he says, I'm astonished and flabbergasted that people who are so power besotted that they can't even accept the possibility that they did not win an election. It does not matter whether you're right or wrong, they are right. It's just a question. I'm thinking perhaps Soyinka is still angry about something. It seems that Soyinka is still very much angry about something. And every time he speaks, we can tell that that deep-seated resentment is still there in Soyinka, especially with the way the elections went. And perhaps, let me be bold enough to call it out, perhaps the way some of the supporters of the Labour Party went about arguing their case. Mr. Ndukwe.
You see, Kelly, the Bible, which of course is the highest book for me on this earth, advise that we bridle our tongue on any issue we want to talk about. I think Soyinka, like I have special respect for him, has been on this particular issue for as many as it has become irritated. It's irritating me as a person that every time you go back to that same point, every time, what has it... See, Kelly, assuming the Labour Party adherents, let me put it that way, because it's the same thing we are seeing is just like religious groups. That's what these political party members do. Now, if, for instance, they were wrong in their assertions and all that, didn't the court right the wrongs? The court did what, of course, it should do. And who was announced is still the man holding the fort. What else does he want to happen before he will shield that particular sword? Every time Soyinka, a man at his age and of course his intellect, should have allowed this kind of thing to be a thing of the past. Perhaps in making references, he should bring them up. That's in his writing and all that. But not everyone, every time you want to talk, you talk about that, you talk about, will they be killed before he gets tired of the whole thing? Has he, in his own life, not made a mistake, assuming they made mistake? So, look at the way Kelly, if you and I have problem, and that thing finally have been settled, I don't know where the case will be settled that will be bigger than the Supreme Court. And the Supreme Court restored what ought to be restored. Why would I go about talking about that? Kelly did this thing to me. Kelly did this. Am I not being childish about the whole thing? So for me, I think whether he calls them barbarians or whatever he calls them, the issue is that, you see, you cannot know more than you have in your head. As I am, I can't say more than I have because you can't give what you don't have. Okay. If the Labour Party people now look at their position as the best as at that time, and they exhibited that and were corrected, and there's nothing has come up from them as maybe an upheaval to counter that particular right position, why would a man be talking about that? Will you talk about it forever? So for me, I'm not listening to that.
I don't deal in social media. As far as I'm concerned, barbarians have taken over social media and they have swapped the intellectual quotient, which used to make and still make social media valid in other society. Here in this country, social media has been dragged down to the lowest common denominator. I recall, and I think I said it on some of my shift then, that for me to have my sanity, I enjoy my Twitter then the way I used to enjoy it. I just put a lot of people on mute. Mute, block, mute, block. No, but during that election, we had a lot of vile comments on social media. The level of tolerance was very lean. You say anything against what a group believed at the time, they came against you like a swarm of bees.
Wildfire.
It was instant. The attack was instant. So, and then at the same time, you had a lot of fake news being propagated and stuff. So I just said I needed some sanity. I mute, block. And then the moment Elon Musk came, all of those my memory just wiped everything. I'm like, what kind of man is this? So, is it possible that Soyinka still feels that we have a group of people that are just perhaps, what's the word now, neck deep, insistent that what they hold is what should be, regardless of what they are seeing as the reality right now? I know we have a short time, but let me take some of the comments.
I think you may have that belief that there are a group of people who believe that what they hold is what people should take, whether it is okay or not. There are people like that, and we seem to perceive some of them within the society as it manifested during the 2023 general elections. Those things are there. And what I think, in a way, social media has been hijacked. Yeah, that's true. But then we have laws in the country that can punish those who misuse the social media. And I believe those laws should be invoked. I don't know why up till now we are not having some issues of recommendations made, like we should have a special court for trial of election issues. We should have a special court that will try environmental violation, laws violation issue. We should have special court that should even try social media violators, so that the case can be expedited. Within 6 months, you can get judgment. If we begin to roll out people, and people are aware that what you post on social media, you are held to account with it, and you can be prosecuted, and within 6 months you can be pronounced either guilty or discharged. And the moment you have that label of prosecution, conviction on you, that's you will be useless for the rest of your life. People will know what they are saying on social media. But if we are silent and allow people to hijack it, because to me, I don't really believe that social media is bad. It's very helpful. Without the existence of social media, where people can even come out and say their mind certain times, a lot of people would have committed suicide in this country. That is what is just keeping some people going, because the system is so skewed that a lot of people don't know what to do. The moment they have data, they just go there, talk, watch videos, and they forget their sorrows. Even before they do say that some men who are thinking they go to drink beer now, the beer is not even affordable again. So a lot of issues are out there. So a lot of problems are out there. Unlike before that, a person just say you can buy a bottle of beer 200, you cannot buy for it. Now you can imagine that. So a lot of issues are there. But so you shouldn't be very critical about social media. I believe that it came at a time that it's no longer his own generation. So there is a way the new generation see this, and there is a way they are using it to also better their lot. So it shouldn't be too critical about it, but then people should be careful on social media. I know that many cases are in courts today from across the country as a result of what people say on social media, and people will continue to go in for it. When you go there and you say what you think you can say and you run away with it, no, you will be held accountable to that.
All right, let's go for the news update. We'll be back in a moment. Just stay with us.
This is Today 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt, voice of the people. Whether it's happening in Port Harcourt, South, Nigeria, or around the world, we've got you covered on air, online, delivering balanced news and unbiased analysis. Today 95.1 FM.
Today 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt. News update.
A very good morning to you. Here's the news update on Today 95.1 FM. I am Kelly Ikemenjima. The All Progressives Congress APC says it has reviewed the Supreme Court judgment on the Kano State governorship election. The party said it is taking steps to create a strong avenue that will unite its members and welcome new members into the party. It could be recalled that the Supreme Court had affirmed the election victory of Kano State Governor Abba Yusuf. His earlier victory in the March 2023 poll, which had been overturned by the two lower courts, was unanimously reinstated by a panel of justices led by Ian Gokoro. The Supreme Court set aside the concurrent decisions of the two lower courts that had initially removed the governor from office based on allegations of irregularities during the disputed March 2023 election. In a communique signed by the APC National Chairman's Chief of Staff, Mohammed Garba, the party acknowledged President Bola Tinubu's commitments to the progress and development of the party in the state and the country at large. Speaking on behalf of the party, Garba stated that the stakeholders meeting had resolved to keep the doors of the party open to hundreds of new members willing to join. A faction of the new Nigeria People's Party (NNPP) has urged the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) to update its records on the party's National Executive Committee (NEC) membership, stressing that the party chieftains, including Rabiu Kwankwanso, and the entire membership of the old National Working Committee (NWC) led by Abba Kawu had been expelled. The faction, in a statement issued by the chairman of the Board of Trustees (BOT) of the party, Temitope Aluko, also urged the media to respect the NNPP constitution by recognizing only officers duly elected by the party's constitution. Aluko said Kwankwaso and the entire membership of the old NWC led by Kawu had since been expelled, and INEC was appropriately and duly informed in that regard. He noted that INEC had no powers to meddle in the internal affairs of a political party. According to him, the mandate and powers of INEC to register, control, and regulate political parties are constitutionally provided, and the party is aware of that. The BOT chairman said NNPP chieftains like Kwankwanso, Buba Galadima, and the sacked and defunct NWC led by Kawu had been in gross abuse of the constitutional provisions of the new NNPP with impunity. He decried issues concerning corruption, high-handedness, lack of transparency and accountability on the part of the defunct NNPP National Working Committee members. Some chiefs and elders from Rumaholu community in Obiakpo local government area of Rivers State have insisted that a ban on tricycle operations, popularly called keke in the community, stands. The Council of Chiefs and Elders, after a meeting presided over by the Ezembo III, Samuel Inyegwa, the Public Relations Officer of the Council, Chief Awo Injowo, and said the Council is in total support of the ban. The stakeholders, in a statement they signed, want keke operators to shun those masquerading as indigents to extort money from them, noting that they are not acting on behalf of Rumaholu community. The people regretted that some of the keke operators are engaged in nefarious activities in the community, hence the ban. On the foreign scene, Pope Francis called for the release of a group of people, including 6 nuns, kidnapped in Haiti, a Caribbean nation plagued by gang violence. At the end of his weekly Angelus prayer at the Vatican, the pontiff urged those perpetrating such acts to desist, saying it causes so much suffering to their population. According to the Haitian Religious Conference, the country's Association of Religious Orders, 8 people, including 6 nuns, were kidnapped on Friday while traveling on a bus in the capital, Port-au-Prince. The incident comes amid an increase in kidnappings in Haiti, the poorest state in America, facing a spiraling security crisis. The 87-year-old also made reference to the situation in Ecuador, another country battling gang violence. Ecuador
tribalist, an idiot, to say you are better off as a citizen who sees the universal humanity of all of us and acts on that basis to make choice for the advance of the common good. It is not a matter of whether Nigerians are good people or bad people. It happens even in the United States.
Okay.
So it's how much hard work a few committed people can do to make them see the light. To talk about 2023, even though that the whole elections turned out to be, the INEC was a mess, so there were no elections. You live in Rivers there, you know that what the outcomes are from Rivers, quote unquote, from INEC is not what the people voted. So let's leave that alone. But the truth is that 2023 showed us that the people can be mobilized to see their good.
All right.
It is the most important accomplishment of 2023 that, a cabal beating back on the people repeatedly found that the people were able to and could be mobilized to put their own. You see, we've seen this before. We saw Eastern Europe.
Okay.
How people were beaten down. But we also watched with our own eyes how Nicolae Ceausescu was killed on the streets of Romania. You think it won't happen in Nigeria with these guys someday? Let's just keep educating the people. Let's just keep educating them.
Could this vision take the form of flesh before the 2027 elections?
I'm sorry, I think I missed that.
Could this vision of yours, this idea,
yes,
could it take the form of a flesh come 2027?
A flesh?
Yes. Would it exist? Would it exist before 2027?
What's a flesh? I don't know. I don't have the word.
That is, would this party exist before 2027?
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. See, when you're getting old, you get dumber. Okay. Of course, it will take expression even this year. One day before the end of this year, we'll call out 10 million Nigerians onto the streets to say this is where we stand. Okay. This is our party. This is our future.
And if Atiku goes ahead to mobilize, a statement recently, that was just last week, by the former vice president, candidate of the PDP, that is ready to lead a coalition. If he goes ahead to do that, would it in any way impede on your plans?
It is given to man to plan and to discuss and to negotiate, and we will keep discussing and negotiating. I am confident that the common good of the people will ultimately triumph. It will trump all that. And let's put it this way. Look, I have known Elijah to go back for 40-something years. He's a very reasonable person. I think he is capable of seeing what is good for all the people. Yeah, and our conversation is ongoing,
All right. Prof, thank you so much for making the time to speak with us this morning.
It's a great pleasure.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Professor Pat Utomi speaking with us live on the radio this morning. Let's go straight and turn this conversation over to you so we can take your reactions at this time. Phone lines to call 0817 0000951, 0810 9510951. Again, 0817 0000951, 0810-9510-951. Those are the numbers to call. Today, 95.1. Good morning.
Good morning, my brother and the speaker. Emeka from Owerri in Imo State.
Emeka, please go on.
Can I speak on the issue of Shoyinka?
Yes, you can.
Okay. I see someone like Shoyinka, honestly, there's somebody most of us respect before this 2023 election. But all his utterances and body language and actions make somebody like me to start seeing the other side of him. We have an issue of
Emeka? Go on.
I'm hearing you.
We lost connection for a moment. Please go on.
Okay. He has simply shown that it's just for Tinubu. And secondly, he's a Christian. Take what to experience we had from him this 2023 election is a throwback. He has been consistently supporting Tinubu, and which is not good for someone like him. He wants to be a starter of the election. In a sense, whoever that is there, but the way he's going about it now, makes people understand that he's just setting side the side of Tinubu, the hardship and everything. Everything about Tinubu, they are doing on his side, and he's not supposed to be as a kind of person. So, finally these days, I don't just like it. I must say it. Thank you, and God bless you.
Thank you so much for reaching out, Emeka. Let's do some more calls. We'll turn it over to you. Today, 95.1. Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning, sir.
My name is John. Sorry, on the issue of Nnamdi, I must tell you, the plan they had in mind, I mean, the Buhari government is just eliminating Nnamdi. It's not a new thing. So, but thank God that they couldn't succeed. Because Nnamdi already knows that, yes, that is the plan they had for it. So, if not because of the scene he created in Kenya, believe me now, the story of Nnamdi has a story gone. But today, they have nothing to do to Nnamdi Kanu. Nnamdi Kanu will come out alive.
All right.
I promise you.
All right. Thank you. Today, 95.1. Good morning.
Good morning.
Hi, Gift. Welcome. Please go on.
Thank you. Good morning to all the guests in this studio.
Good morning to you.
Yes, sir.
I want to align myself and yourself. You know what
Gift. Can you raise your voice? We're struggling to hear you, please.
Okay, can you sound
better?
Okay, because I was trying to be cool this morning. I don't want my head to go up. The truth of the matter, Kelly, you know as a media man what we faced recently this general election that just passed. My brother, nobody will come and pretend it was something else. Those strong words he used, I will not use them this morning, but the man just tweeted the up. How can, if today I'm not supporting Kelly, then it will be true or die affair? You will swear for my father, swear for my mother, and you'll be looking for me, how to eliminate me. What kind of politics is that? Is it by force for me to support Peter Obi or to support Atiku Abubakar? Listen to what Peter was saying when he was talking about his death and all the rest, or going to prison. These are the people that were behind this whole thing. So, Olashoka, I just stated the obvious. Let me stop here. Thank you.
All right, Gift, thank you so much for reaching out. Today, 95.1. Good morning.
Good morning, my dear.
Hi, welcome.
Thank you. The prof, is he still there?
Just go on.
Okay. I can see he's very brilliant and he articulates very well. But I want to urge him to just support this government with that his strong head and they go on, because I believe that if Obi had won this election, I don't think he would have been there to be criticizing this government. I beg.
I suppose that's the point you want to make. Thank you so much for reaching out. 0817-000-0951, 0810-951-0951. Good morning.
Yeah, Charlie, good morning to you.
Morning, sir.
Yeah, this is Pastor Isaiah George from Buguma in Calabar. Allow me grace the guests in your studio. Good morning to you.
Good morning. Morning to you.
Yes, you see, I love the position of Pat Itomi. But it would have been better that he used all his good progress to assist this government in power rather than going the other way around. Because as I speak to you, it is very difficult for major parties and the likes of the people who are merging Atiku, Kwankwaso, and the P2B in Assam to triumph in that direction that they are going, Because tell me, who will step down for who? Only that alone will become a very... Are you with me?
We're listening.
So only that alone will become a very big problem to them.
Okay.
Because Kwankwaso wants to lead, Atiko wants to lead, P2B wants to lead. All these three men are three strong heads, and none of them will be want to step down for each other. That is where the problem lies. If not, I think, and while they will be going that way, the ruling party will go under and to make sure that their house that is built together will never stand.
All right.
Because when you have three strong heads struggling over power, it becomes something else. If not, the moves would have been better. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Today 95.1. Good morning.
Hello. Good morning, Mr. Kelly.
Welcome, sir.
Good morning. Yes, this is Right Side calling from abroad.
Okay.
Yes, with the idea of Patrick Tony, I like the idea, but I want to ask, with this good idea, will it be a good thing, considering the poor political or electoral system and the near judicial system that is so bad? Is it achievable, or is it going to be that they are just coming in to prove that they have a point to play, yet at the end of the day, there will nothing that will come out of it? Because I think with this good idea, standing on a poor INEC system and a judicial system that is bad in the country is not achievable. So that's my point, sir.
All right. Thank you, too, for reaching out. Today 95.1. Good morning.
Good morning, Kelly.
Welcome, Frank. Please go on.
Yeah, let me greet all that in the studio. Good morning.
Good morning to you.
Good morning, sir.
Yeah, let me emphatically tell Patrick Tomi this morning that this new party is about to form. This party will not help Nigeria because the kind of politician is mentioning their name, they are calling. Those who have held different positions and they never make Nigeria things better. So the rest of people like Mogalu, Jeffries, something like Adam there, but Adam who had expressed so much, and other one. He's supposed to call those people, not people that will bring up that again, because they are fighting for their stomach, not for Nigeria. So the issue of SPC minister, I'm appealing to the minister, I mean the senator, not to play politics. It's right for him to go there and clarify himself, but it's not the president of Federal Republic of Nigeria. It's the minister. If they can fire him today, and another person will take over. The president of Nigeria should take our security serious, not only the minister. Thank you and God bless you.
All right, thank you so much. Today 95.1, you'll be our final call for today.
Yeah, good morning. Good morning, Kemengmo.
Morning. Tony, welcome.
Sorry? Yeah, thank you. Yeah. I don't think Professor William Soronka deserves castigation you had this morning or over time. He has taken the right thing. Either he called them barbarians, and actually Bodo is not radio friendly. I don't know why. I mean, he was not considered for using that radio friendly word. But anyway, that's by the way. He has said it because if you listen to social media, how they use the social media to use unbridled words that are not friendly, words that can incite problems. While there are to advance the cause of humanity. These abused people and all the rest, people who are not, entitled with their ideas, their ideology. What is right, even if you are saying something that is right over and over again, even if it's 100 times, there's nothing wrong. I don't agree with some people that say, he talks too much. I don't think he talks too much. He's stating something, it's an error statement. He's a man I respect most. But even if he has any issue with anybody or whatever, that's by the way. But in this case, it's right. Now I want to briefly talk about the rescue girls people Yes, but yes, but you see, this is like I said yesterday. It is not something to cheer about. There's nothing to cheer about because these people, the harrowing experience they pass in the hands of those hoodlums. Those people, they they will be sexually abused and everything. They will live with it for the rest of their life. What are we celebrating for? Because the thing will happen again tomorrow. There's no cause for celebration. I think maybe if we have to celebrate maybe 30%.
All right.
That's all.
Thank you. Reactions on X, let me quickly read it and then we take a final conversation. Justified at Slick Nation. I have one question for Amechi. Did he send his children to school in Nigeria? Talk more of telling Nigerian youth not to jackpot. He's one of those politicians that put the country in a mess. He should cover his face in shame. Bomada Katima, Shoinka is still upset with the obedient movement. It seems so. Olivia Dave Official, Kelly, good morning. I think Mr. Shoinka is upset